It's me. I'm just going to read a couple of scriptures on two different things, but basically scriptures to cover why our prayers are not being answered, why things aren't moving for us, what we're supposed to be doing, and what we're not doing, and why. No matter what we do, if we fast or pray, it won't work unless we do these particular things that has been commanded by us. So I couldn't find a video that cover all that I want to share with you. I found maybe a few videos to share some things with you, but not everything. So I'm just going to read some to you so you can hear it for yourself. And all right, so I'm going to go briefly. Okay, I'm at Matthew chapter 5, the so-called New Testament, Matthew chapter 5, verse 17. And you can just, I'm not reading from King James Version. This is the same as King James Version. It just has a lot of the Hebrew words and names in it than the false names and words in it. So, Matthew 5:17. Do not think that I came to destroy the Torah, the commandments of Moses, or the prophets. I did not come to destroy, but to complete. For truly I say to you, till the Shema, heaven, and the earth pass away, one jot nor one tittle shall by no means pass from the Torah, the commandments of Moshe, which is Moses, till all be done. Whoever then breaks one of the least of these commands and teaches men so will be called least by the reign of the Shema, meaning the kingdom of heaven. But whoever does and teach them, he will be called great in the reign of Shema. For I say to you that unless your righteousness exceed that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will by no means enter into the reign of the Shamayim. And he goes on to say, you have heard that it was said to those of old, you will not murder. And whoever murders will be liable to judgment. And so he goes into more of the, what we've known of the commandments of the so-called Old Testament that is still today. Okay, I'm at Leviticus chapter 22, verse 31 in the so-called Old Testament, which the whole book is actually one whole book, not two separate books. But anyway, verse 31, and you will guard my commands and do them. I am Yahuwah. And do not profane my set-apart name, and I will be set apart among the children of Yasharal, which is Israel. I am Yahuwah, who sets you apart, who makes you righteous, who brought you out of the land of Masraim, Egypt, to be your supreme Elohim. I am Yahuwah. Okay, I'm at Deuteronomy chapter 6. I'm going to read 1 through 8. And this is the command, the Torah, right rulings, which Yahuwah, your supreme Elohim, has commanded to teach you to do in the land which you are passing over to possess, so that you fear Yahuwah, your supreme Elohim, to guard all his Torah and his commands, which I command you, and your son and your grandson all the days of your life, and that your days be prolonged. And you will hear, O Yasharal, which is Israel, and will guard to do, that it might be well with you, and that you increase greatly, as Yahuwah, the supreme Elohim of your fathers, has spoken to you, in the land flowing with milk and honey, meaning the richness of the land. Hear, O Yasharal, Yahuwah, our supreme Elohim, Yahuwah is one. And you will love Yahuwah, your supreme Elohim, with all your heart, with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your might. All these words which I am commanding you today will be in your heart, and you will impress them upon your children, and will speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. So that means we're supposed to be talking other commands every day throughout the day with our children until they memorize them and do them. And will bind them as a sign on your hand, and they will be as frontlets between your eyes. And you will write them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates, and it will be when Yahuwah, your supreme Elohim, brings you into the land of which he swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Yitzchak, and to Jacob, to give you great and good cities which you did not build. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 13, but I'm going to start from 12. Okay. And now, Yasharal, what is Yahuwah, your supreme Elohim, asking of you, but to fear Yahuwah, your supreme Elohim, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yahuwah, your supreme Elohim, with all your heart and with all your being, to guard the commands of Yahuwah and his Torah, which I command you today for your good. Okay. See the Shema, heaven, and the Shama of Shama, meaning heaven and heaven, belong to Yahuwah, your supreme Elohim, also the earth with all that is in it. Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 4. Walk after Yahuwah, your supreme Elohim, and fear him, and guard his commands, and obey his voice, and serve him, and cling to him. 2 Kings, which is Malachim. 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 37. Excuse me, I'm a bit tired. And guard to do forever the Torah and the right rulings of the Torah, the commandments, and the command which he wrote for you. And do not fear other Elohim. Elohim meaning a mighty one. But this is not the almighty one. So that means it's a smaller God, deity. And do not forget the covenant that I have made with you. And do not fear other Elohim. But fear Yahuwah, your supreme Elohim, so that he delivers you from the land of all your enemies. And they did not obey, but did according to their former ruling. Okay. Psalms, Tehillim, chapter 78, starting, I'm going to read from verse 5. For he raised a witness, sorry about that. For he raised a witness in Jacob, and set a Torah commandment in Yasharal, Israel, which he commanded our fathers to teach them to their children, that it might be known to be a generation to come, to children who would be born, to rise up and relate to them to their children, and relate them to their children, and place their trust in the supreme Elohim, and not forget the works of Almighty Al, but watch over his commands, and not be like their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation which did not prepare its heart, whose Ruach spirit was not steadfast to Almighty Al. Ecclesiastes. 12. Matthew 19. Matthew 19. Yep. Oh, no. Miss- First Timothy chapter 6, verse 14. That you guard the command spotlessly, blamelessly, until the appearing of our Master, Yahusha, the Anointed One, which in his own seasons he will reveal the Baruch and only ruler. Baruch means blessed. The only ruler, the sovereign of sovereigns, and master of masters. Okay, so I'm going to read it one more time. That you guard the command spotlessly, blamelessly, until the appearing of our Master Yahusha, the Anointed One. First Yehochanan, 1 John, chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love for the Supreme Elohim, that we guard his commands, and his commands are not heavy, they are not burdensome, because everyone having been born of the Supreme Elohim overcomes the world. And this is the overcoming that has overcome the world, our belief. James chapter 1, verse 22, starting from verse 21. Therefore put away all filthiness and overflow of evil, and receive with meekness an implanted word, which is able to save your lives, and become doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. Because if anyone is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man who looks at his natural face in a mirror. For he looks at himself and goes away and immediately forgets what he was like. Okay. But he that looked into the perfect Torah, the commandment that of freedom, and continues in it, not becoming a hearer that forgets, but a doer of work, this one will be the Baruch in his doing of the Torah. Baruch means blessed. Okay, so this one was about these scriptures that I read, just a few, were based on what the Most High has commanded us, even our Messiah, Yahusha, that we shall guard his commandments and walk in his statutes, his ways, not just be hearers, but doers of the word. Don't be self-righteous. Our righteousness is as filthy rags. And that whatever we teach, we teach what we do. We teach what we practice. And that we shall abide in that. If not, no matter how much we pray, fast, whatever we know what the word says that is good, if we are not doing the good works that he tells us to, so that way we may continue to be blessed and taken care of by the Most High Yah, then he turns his ear away. So therefore, I will make another video on the scriptures that it talks about him not hearing the voice of sinners. Okay? Shalom.